Are you tired of all the dating games, rules, and societal norms that make falling in love confusing and stressful?
Then join us as we ditch the script and empower you to establish healthy, conscious relationships.
This weekly podcast breaks down popular dating reality television and educates you on healthy versus toxic dating habits.
I'm Brianna, a licensed therapist.
And I'm Alex, a trauma-informed and certified narcissist recovery coach.
Are you ready to ditch the script?
Oh my God.
I love it.
Hello, beautiful friend.
Hi, Angel.
Hi. Jack says hello and spun my chair at the same time.
Oh, hi, Jaxie.
Hi. We're live here on the show, everybody, in case you're wondering what this weird, whiny, soundy situation is.
We're just alive. I was asking Alex before we hit record, and I was like, what's our vibe? And she was like, alive. Our vibe is alive.
Is alive. That's what's up.
That's all I got.
Honestly, I am doing amaze. I'm just tired.
So tired. Yeah.
Partially from staying up late and playing video games with my boyfriend, and partially from work.
Yeah. You know what? At least work hard, video game hard.
For real. And like lately, I mean, I know we've been talking about it privately. Like I gave myself a good amount of like time off to really rest and just like chill. And now I feel like I need a break from that.
Yeah. And what does a break from being chill look like? Is the inverse of that like getting to work?
Let's be really clear. Like the video game situation is, okay, y'all, this is going to sound like gibberish for some of you, but I don't know if there's any like my fellow super nerdy gamer people, but I'm just going to be straight up with you guys. We're playing Baldur's Gate, which is like a virtual Dungeons and Dragons game. So there's a lot of like thinking and planning ahead that's involved with this game. It's not like run around, shoot 'em up type bang bang game. It's literally like you have to sit there and like think about what your enemies like. Do they have resistances? How are you going to attack them? How are you going to like position yourselves? Like there's a lot. So what I mean is like I like need a break from thinking like that. Like I kind of need to just like put on Harry Potter and like chill, which I think I am going to do today actually, because it's October, and maybe light a yummy fall candle and then just chill. I think that's what I'm going to do later today. But that's what I mean by like I need a break from the play, is because the play is so the play, Jesus. The play is so mentally like, oh, I need to think about it, that like I need a break from that, you know?
Yeah, I see. Yeah, when you're like playing a game, you get stuck in a very specific kind of mindset.
It's like playing chess. Like when you're like, it's that kind of mental taxing of like, you have to anticipate your opponent's move and figure out how you want to like set yourself up for success. That is like how slow paced this game is, because you have to like really think ahead. And so that's what I mean, is like I just need like a mind check out mind day, which is going to be today.
Yeah.
After this.
Okay. I see. There's like levels to taking breaks from work and being productive. What Baldur's Gate feels like something that's a very active type of rest, because you're not using your brain in the same way that you do at work and when you're building content and when you're engaging with your clients.
Yeah.
But this is like rest where it's like it's shifting gears, but now you need even rest from that.
Yeah.
You need to like really turn it off. I wanted to ask you, when you need to like turn your brain off and just consume, which is kind of rare for you, it sounds like.
I know.
Like.
Yeah.
What are your go-tos? What do you like to turn your brain off with?
Fuck. It's gonna be a mixture of like arts and crafts, which is like paint by numbers adult version or an adult coloring book. There have even been times where I've colored in the dark and like just chose like I couldn't see, but I was like picking random colors, and that was kind of fun just to like draw on a page, which was cool. But anyway, so arts and crafts, or definitely there's some films that I love that are just like I can sit down and like let it play. Or for example, like
give me like 2 or 3.
Okay. So, oh fuck. I mean, like what comes to mind are like all my nerdy staples, like things like Lord of the Rings, Star Wars, Harry Potter, but also things like Severance on Apple TV is one of my favorite shows. It's just really good. But I kind of want to get lost in something. That's the point is like I want it to be a fantastical escape. So like reality TV, not it. Not it for you. It needs to be something fictional that's executed well. Yeah. Or spacey shit. There's something about watching stuff about our universe that makes me feel like my problems are so small.
Ooh, okay. So you're a type of person that when you think about space, you feel small, and that feels good. Like you start to feel kind of insignificant.
Yeah,
in a good way.
I mean, there's definitely aspects of me where I like the concept of space also freaks me out because it's so like vacuous and like huge. But the majority of it is like, if you want me to be honest, it's like, does reality even exist type thinking? It's like that kind of like, like what I'm dealing with here on planet Earth is it exists for a blink of an eye in the concept of universe and space and time. You know what I mean? And so it kind of reminds me to be like, fuck it, be present, enjoy your life, because that's at the end of the day all that really matters. It's comforting to me in that way.
Yeah. I get that. No, I like asking. You brought it up, and then I wanted to ask because space makes people feel usually one of 2 ways. Not that it's totally such a binary, but sometimes space makes people feel really freaked out.
Totally.
But cool. I appreciate that it sort of like makes you be present. Okay, so what I'm hearing about when you like to really like turn it all off and get lost, you want to get lost not just in a narrative, you want to get lost in a different world.
Yeah.
You're like, take me out of my world.
Yes.
Bring me into a world of others.
Yes. Yeah. It's nice.
That. Yeah.
It is. It's cool to like just kind of, in a weird way, it feels like I eject from my own reality.
Just it's nice. Catapult up to the moon.
Yeah. Whatever that is. What about you? Tell me, what do you like to do to like unplug and mentally check out?
I want to be checked out all of the time lately. It is, girl. I am so lucky that I don't have addiction in my genetics. I am so lucky because the way in which I want to escape would be so dangerous if I had an affliction towards drugs and alcohol.
Yeah.
It would just be, and I honestly mean this, like it would be bad. I too want to escape. The thing that I feel, so when work is really intense for me, I can't watch things that are equally heavy in their content, subject and content, which is frustrating.
So hard.
Yeah. Which is frustrating because I love stuff like that. Like, I'm trying to think of a good example. What was like a popular show of like an HBO? I don't know. You know, when like we get like heavy HBO, like shows that like, are really trendy.
Even this last season of Barry was so intense. Like, oh shit. I don't know if you watch it.
Yeah.
But that's a great example.
I haven't watched anything. This is the other thing. I haven't watched television. Like I haven't watched. Okay, this is what I know is wrong with me or my situation. I love shows like this. Like I know what Barry is, would have loved to watch it. I know what Succession is. I would have loved to watch it. I like some of those culty, everyone's
Yeah.
watching it all at once type of show.
Yeah.
I would love to watch, but I have been in the helping profession for so long and it's always intense that I physically cannot go home and put shit like that on. So I've
Yep.
just kind of missed all of it, which is fine. I don't feel pressure to keep up with like media. Uh I need to. It's funny, I never used to like reality television and now I
Mm.
kind of need it. Like I watch a lot of, and this is mostly at night when I'm going to sleep, but like RuPaul's Drag Race is a perfect escape for me.
Yeah.
Perfect escape. Project Runway has been a perfect
Mm.
escape.
Queer
The
Eye is on my list when I need this
Yep.
vibe. Yeah.
Yeah, Queer Eye is good, although Queer Eye is also something I like to pay attention to a little bit too much. So
Um,
so I need something less like, and even though I absolutely like despise being caught up in like Real Housewives, Vanderpump Rules, Kardashian type of ether, I need it as a tool. I don't
Interesting.
care about these people, but I
Right.
need it as a
Right.
tool.
Fascinating. I love it.
Yeah. Yeah. And I've never really been like a sci-fi girly. I wonder if that would have to me, if I were to be like, let me put on something sci-fi and like a Middle Earth, like I can appreciate the artistry of it all.
Right.
It's just so complicated and I just feel like I have zero brain cells left
Yeah. No, I get
prior
that.
prior to watching. I probably would have
No.
more brain cells after watching.
No, no. But I understand like the complex storylines and like what
Yeah.
character, all the names sound the same too in Lord of the Rings specifically, where you're like, Eowyn, Arwen, what the fuck? Like it's
I
all the
can't
same.
I have nothing left to give.
Yeah, no, I feel you. I so feel you. You know what this is reminding me of? Because, like,
But
especially for me after a heavy client day where it's like we're talking about some real heavy shit or like the emotions came up and I really had to like hold space and like, I'm not gonna lie, y'all, in case you're ever wondering, I don't know, I can't speak for you. I will speak for myself.
mhm,
There are times where if I'm holding space for a client and it gets emotional, when I get off that call with that client, I will get emotional on behalf of that client. Like it gets a little
mhm,
watery for me. I don't know if that's the Pisces in my chart. And so I
maybe.
really have to take the time to clear my own energy and pull into myself after some of those calls because it's a lot. And sometimes I really fucking feel like, not that I don't always feel for my clients, but sometimes that is like, I feel it even more, you know?
Mhm,
And so even with my partner, like there was when we first started dating and we were kind of talking about stuff we'd been through and like getting to know each other. I remember specifically I had had a hard client load that day and he was starting to bring up some stuff that I was like, today is not the day for me to like sit here and hear this
yeah,
because of like I was already tapped out like
yeah,
emotionally and like mentally in that way. And so I just told him, I was like, I really want to hear this story and I had a really heavy day today and today's not that day. So like let's put it on pause. And about 2 weeks later, we finally got back to that. But here's what this
yeah,
is bringing up for me because not only is it in conversation, like Brene Brown talks about how her and her partner handle this kind of stuff. And she's
mm,
like, they meet each other at the end of the day, and the way they
mhm,
greet each other is talking about what their percentage level is at. She'll
yeah,
be like,
mhm,
I have 20%. And he'll be like, great, I have 20% too. And it's like, what are we going to do with this 40%? Right? Like combined.
yeah,
And I thought that
yeah,
was such a great tool. And so, as we were kind of talking about just our human experience with life and like the ways that we go to recharge or unplug or kind of like just mentally fucking check out instead of being present the entire fucking time, you know, that's what it brought up for me. It's like being able to use a tool for your partners, your family, your friends, your kiddos, and being like, yo, this is where I'm at, and being honest about it. I don't think your children, if you looked at them and you were like, babe, I so want to play with you and mommy has about 20% of energy, so here's what mommy can do, And
Mm.
you know, what can we do to make that work together for playtime, right? I don't
Mhm.
think your child is going to respond and be like, no, right? Same with your partner and
Mm.
everyone else. I think what really fucks us up far often is trying to act like we have it all together when we really don't. You know,
Mm.
it's like we come home and we don't share that and we just go about our shit. And then we get resentful or we get burnt out. And then we get like passive aggressive and we start picking fights and shit. But it's like, what if we were just like, hey, honestly, this is the capacity I have right now. And what can we do to make that work? I think that would be way
Yeah.
better well received than
Yeah.
acting like we're
Instead
fine.
of just expecting our partners or like our children or our friends or our roommates to sort of pick up cues to
Yeah.
identify what capacity someone has. Like I remember living in houses with various people, and it was like, if this person's door closed, that means that they're like not,
Leave me alone.
if someone were to come home at night and see that I'm watching RuPaul's Drag Race, probably means I don't have the headspace for a deep chat. But all of that's fine and good to be able to like use those nonverbal ways of communicating, but to when everyone else feels like they have to constantly be hyper vigilant to take in
Yes.
those cues, that's when it can kind of create a load of responsibility on the person who's
Yeah.
not feeling what you're feeling to kind of identify, okay, what's going on with this
Yeah.
person. It's
And
not always
on
fair.
and to add to that, people feeling shame for not being at 100% all the goddamn time.
Right.
Right? I feel like
Oh,
a lot of people feel like they're not allowed to say that. Yeah, babe, like take a fucking
yeah,
break.
that's me.
Like
That's
we
me.
all
I struggle
deserve
with that.
it. And so it's like we silence ourselves because we want internally, it's like, I want to be able to tell you I'm only at 20%, but because of societal shame or religious shame or any kind of shame that we've been trained to like, you know, you gotta cook and clean and do this and that and da 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 and like, or you gotta go to work and you gotta work from home and you gotta always be on the clock in order to make a buck and blah blah blah. Like when we feel like we can't just be honest with those closest to us because we're letting someone down, that amount of pressure on yourself is going to explode, implode at some time. And so it's like really like my goal, and like now I'm thinking about this is kind of a conversation I want to have with my boyfriend, but it's like my goal is to always be like just upfront and honest. Like I've even talked to him about this as far as just labeling my emotions. Like if I'm annoyed, I want to be able to tell you like I'm annoyed right now, not like I'm fine, right? It's the same
Mm-hmm.
concept with like you're trying to act like you have 100% but you only got 20 and that's okay. Just own it. I'm at 20% right now. Like this is what's available to me.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Yeah. Yeah.
So I hope that that resonates with whoever. Take a break, be kind to yourself, and communicate where you're at, y'all. Like we all need
Yeah.
it. Yeah.
Yeah. You know what I'm going to need is like when we start doing that, I need the people in our lives, especially. This is what I struggle with the most is being a person that feels like they always need to show up 100%, like vivacious bounce back queen from stuff. The minute that I start being like, yeah, not doing super great, there are people in my life that will be like, what's wrong? Blah, blah, blah. Like, well, why are you feeling this way? And it's like, this wasn't actually an invitation to like talk about the whole thing unless I'm like, let me get off my chest really quick. Because sometimes when you are a person who people are used to showing up as 100% or faking 100%,
Mm-hmm.
people start getting concerned, like the boat has a hole in it and water slowly leaking in if this person isn't operating at 100. And I need just everyone to just trust that will be
Yeah,
okay. It's
we
okay.
will. And
Mm-hmm.
for me, this happened to me the other day at work because I was like, I usually come in and I'm like, hi, friends. Like, that's me. Like, I
Yeah.
literally show up to work and do that. And so one
Mm-hmm.
day I came in and everyone was in work mode. And so I just was like, hi. Like, I didn't like,
Yeah.
because I knew everyone had their focus face on.
Yeah.
And Chef came over to me and was like, are you okay? And I was like, yeah,
Hmm.
I'm fine. Why? And she's like, you weren't as talkative as usual. And so I was concerned. I was like, no, I'm good. Just everyone had their focus face on and I didn't want to ruin the zone of genius, you know? And she was like, oh, I didn't hear you. But I think permission to just be upfront and be like, I'm having a human moment, right? Like I'm having a day. We don't need to talk about it now. I'm just having a day and I appreciate your support. And when I'm ready to share, I'll share. And just like,
Yeah.
yo, now's not the time.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
Speaking of percentages,
Yeah.
pulse check. I'm at like a 40.
I'm at like a 4.
What are we gonna do with this 44%?
You guys, we got on the Zoom today and Brie was like, "Are you okay?" Because my eyes are puffy. Like, you know when you like your body needs sleep and so you like sleep real good. And I slept in, like, I woke up 20 minutes before we hopped on. I'm still drinking my coffee. And so my body is very much still waking up. And it was just funny because the second Brie was like, "Are you okay?" I was like, "It's my eyes. My eyes are puffy, aren't they?" Yeah. They're calming down. They're calming down. It was
No,
just the morning puff.
you look more awake. I just thought that you were doing cries.
Oh no. I was just, arising to the beautiful day today. I'm putting my cold coffee on my face.
I was gonna say, is it warm? Is that good?
No, it's cold.
You know what I forgot? Oh, this came in your package. You sent me a beautiful birthday package, and in came little eye masties.
Guys, everyone, our Brie is 32.
I'm 32. That's right.
Happy birthday, bitch. I know. Yeah. Put those in the refrigerator.
They are. They're in my fridge. I should have put them on. Remember that one episode where I recorded and I had them on my eyes? And
I could go for those right now.
They just slid down as the episode progressed.
God, that episode is on YouTube in case anyone wants to go find it, and then email us and let us know what episode it is so we can tell the rest of the world what the episode is.
It was about a year ago.
Which also, happy birthday, DTS. This is our 2-year birthday.
I know. Happy 2 years.
Happy 2 years on this podcast. Ditch the script.
We have gotten so much better at doing this, period.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like we were really good from the get-go, though. Like, people loved our first episodes.
I know. People still listen to it. That one still gets
Yeah.
But when I say better, I mean like our timing is better with one another.
Oh my gosh, 100. Yeah. We used to be on here for 2.5 hours and then we'd like size down the episode, and now we don't edit at all. Like, we're like, throw it up there.
Yeah. Oh my God. Remember when oh my God, our like first editor that we ever hired, which we don't have any editors now, we do it ourselves because we figured out how to do it. But our first editor, that poor guy, he had to listen to the entire like 2-hour episode. And he was like, we just gave no guidance. We were like, I don't know, cut out stuff that doesn't seem relevant. He's like, it's not my show. Like, what do you Yeah. Anyway.
Yeah.
We figured it out. We
did. We did.
Okay. We're starting a new show today.
Yeah, we are. Do you want to tell us about it? Share with the class?
Yeah. We're starting the Golden Bachelor. And because we didn't record after the airing of the first episode, which I'm glad because like not much happened.
No.
We're covering episodes 1 and 2 of the Golden Bachelor and getting to know our good friend Gary and all of his
Gary that's spelled like Jerry.
It's spelled like Jerry?
I mean, in my mind, it's spelled like Jerry.
How's it spelled?
Gerry.
And it's pronounced Gary?
Yes. Riddle me that one, Batman.
What the
Come
fuck?
on now. I know. I know. Oh, man. Okay. So.
We're already off to a bad start.
Gary. So Gary is a restaurateur, which, I guess that means he opened some restaurants.
Well, and you know what? We work in that biz,
We do. Yeah.
We know what Gary, we still struggle. We feel it.
Oh my God, that was a big yawn. Okay. Sorry, Gary, you're not putting me to sleep. So he was a restaurateur. This was like really sad, like to hear his story, like fell in love with was it his high school sweetheart?
Yes.
And yeah, got married. They were together for 43 years and she passed away July of 2019 or 2020, around then.
Yeah.
And so He is now on his quest to find love. I think he's 73. Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And here's what I'll say about Golden Bachelor that I've noticed is that they are flying through it. I don't know if like the conversations these folks are having is like too healthy or what, because I just feel like they're like a hop, skip, and a beat and on to the next one. It's like boom, boom, boom. And I don't feel like I had much meats and potatoes to work with for notes this week.
Oh, girl, I've got next to zero notes. She's got no
Great.
notes.
I'm glad I'm not alone.
I have no notes, just vibes.
Yeah, just vibes. Okay. So how do we want to do this? Do we just want to like talk about everybody or the people that stood out to us?
Yeah, I mean, let's talk about the people that stood out to us, but I'll go through the list of the people who have made it.
Okay.
The people who've made
yawning.
it through to the.
You're yawning.
That's okay. I'm not yawning. You're yawning. I love when we blame this on each other.
Yeah.
All right, the people that made it through the first episode was Edith, Ellen, Sandra, Leslie, Marina, Christina, Joan, Natasha, Peggy, Kathy, Nancy, Teresa, Jeannie, Susan, Faith, April. But the people that get eliminated, I'm sorry, the people that make it to the second episode are Edith, Ellen, Sandra, Leslie, Christina, Joan, Kathy, Nancy, Teresa, Susan, April, Faith. Jeannie in a bottle gets cut. Peggy gets cut. Natasha gets cut.
I was bummed about Natasha. I liked
she did that
her.
funny, like, I love that little laugh ritual.
She's an aging coach, which I'm like, yes, like I really feel like people can age beautifully. And I really thought she represented that. Like she was living her best life. She was having fun. I'm not worried about her. She's going to go off and rope herself an amazing man and probably have a wonderful sex life. And yes, girl, like get down with your bad self. Yeah, I really loved her.
She was really cool. I was excited to get to know her more, but alas, that did not happen.
Apparently not.
You know who leaves after the first episode?
Who?
Matt James's mom.
Who's Matt? Oh, Matt James. Okay. Matt James's mom was on there? Yes. Who was Matt James's mom? Patty. Which one?
Patty. Okay, I'm going to tell you. I'm going to tell you because you're going to know because she's got a very distinctive look.
Okay, great.
So I know that you didn't watch Matt James's season, which is why Matt James's mom is not familiar to you. But she was very tall. She had short like gray hair, short gray hair.
Yeah, with the sick ass dress.
Yeah, with the black dress. Lace.
I liked her. I was like, she's hot. She's rocking it.
She is hot.
We didn't get her at all. I was so sad about it.
Because it like nothing happened.
That's so sad.
I know.
Because she looked sick.
She looked awesome. The only thing that we hear from her is she has like a conversation with Gary. I mean, maybe they had more conversations. We just like it didn't make the edits, probably because she got cut the first week.
Right. But that's
she had
so
a conversation.
Sad.
When she came out of the limo, she was like, I know that we could make this work because my son was the Bachelor. And he was just like, oh. I mean, the reality is Gary probably learned about the details of Bachelor and Bachelor Nation 6 weeks before.
Oh my God,
his
100%.
Promotion started.
Yeah.
You know, so I'm not. Patty needed to go in. She needed to go a little bit harder in the first impression.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hey, can I say this about Gary?
Yeah, let's talk about Gary.
He sounds, and I know he has a hearing thing, but, which, by the way, like, I have a really, really good girlfriend who, she's such a badass. People that have, like, hearing aids and, like, don't talk about it openly and just, like, live life are badasses. Because I used to dance with a girl at Disney, same thing. Our choreographer didn't even know. And I thought that was the sickest thing ever. I was like, get a girl. He reminded the way, like the tonality of his voice and how like almost I don't know if falsetto-y is the right word for it, but it low-key reminds me of Big Bird a little. Like the tonality of it, it's just like so soft and like gentle, but like inquisitive at the same time. You'll
But
you'll
it
have
is
to
like
listen for it.
he like if you do close your eyes, he does sound like an animated character or puppet. Or I
It's
guess
so
in this
his
case,
voice is so like
he's
gentle and up
Muppety.
here and very it's like right.
Yeah,
I'm just
that was a
that's all
it
I
was a
could
really
think
good
about.
impression. It was a
Thank
really
you.
good impression. You're welcome.
Yeah,
Um,
I'm here all week. Tip jars
yeah,
on the counter.
I first of all, Gary he's a handsome man.
He has the most beautiful eyes.
He has the most full and youthful head of hair that I've ever seen on a man
You
his
think he
age.
uses that Rogaine?
Maybe. And if so, let the people know. Like, be brand
100%.
ambassador for Rogaine.
Yeah. Yeah, that shit works. I've
That
dated
should
people who used it. Yeah, it works.
it could just be genetics and that he just like hasn't lost his hair.
True.
And I
Yeah.
wonder if his hair might be dyed because it's got kind of like a blonde gray thing going on.
Yeah.
But Gary's fine. He's fine.
He's fine. And I love how he's a romantic. He's like super
Yeah.
sensitive. He's so like just like I don't know if spiritual's the right word, but just like tender. He's tender spirited. And I like that about him.
Yeah, he's
Mhm.
pretty dialed into the subtleties of affection.
Yeah. But you want to know what I didn't like about this at first?
What?
It made me feel awkward because I felt like I was watching my like parents. Like it felt
Mm.
like that. Like I was like, oh my God, I'm watching them try and flirt and like cringe and oh my
Yeah.
God. Yeah. Did anyone else feel like that? Did you feel like that at all? No?
Oh, I didn't feel like that so much. I had
Okay.
one moment that I felt that way, and it was
Oh
when
my God.
Teresa had done like the birthday suit fake out thing.
Oh, yeah.
That was daring for even the like the regular age group of bachelor
Oh my God.
contestants.
Yeah. I think I
That
saw one. Oh, go ahead. What were you going to say?
No, it was just like even if that was one of the girls that are like 25, 28,
Yeah.
it would have been like, what is about to happen? But because they were older, I was like, what am I about to see?
Yeah. And it was her
Amazing.
Spanx, I feel like,
Yeah,
right? It was
she
like
had
her
like
undergarments.
a nude like strapless like bodysuit. Could have been a bathing suit
Yeah.
or like whatever. Yeah, something like that.
Yeah. I do recall a season of Bachelor, and of course, it's gonna be Bachelor because us women are so used to being sexualized that we sexualize ourselves to get our man, ladies.
Yeah.
And, um, and she got out of the limo, like they like rolled in a rack of like lingerie or like something like dresses, or overlays or something, and she got out of the limo like in a lingerie roby type thing and like very much showed off her body and then put a
Mm,
dress on for the cocktail party. I remember
yeah.
this happening. And so like and being flabbergasted, like, whoa, she walked in just to be like, look at my body.
Yeah.
But then like I vaguely remember him not being able to recognize her in a dress because he was like, right? Like, it's like, are you doing
Oh
yourself a
yeah.
service or not?
Oh
Because now
yeah.
you put on clothes and he's just looking for the chick in the underwear, It's like,
I think it also made him a little uncomfortable. He was like,
yeah. I
I don't
don't
know.
she didn't win. So just saying.
Oh, okay. Yeah, good. Well, good. I don't know how to respond to that.
Exactly. It's like it doesn't work. The whole my push up bra will help me get my man doesn't work.
Yeah, it doesn't work. It's short lived. Okay. So let's talk about some honorable first impression out of the limo, folks.
Yeah. Okay, cool.
Collectively, they did gather a group of super fine women of this demographic.
Yeah, they did a good job. What I like most about it is I feel like because they're older, I think they give less fucks. I think people are more comfortable with themselves at this age. Like that, at least from what
Mm.
I'm seeing, I feel like there's less of like this need to please, although I have seen it come up with a few people where I'm like, but less than like our general Bachelor season.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. That's true. Like, I think a lot of the contestants that are similar to our age that go on the show are a little bit like, what do I need to do to get his attention? Very like attention seeking. And
Yeah.
this was like, I just want time, and like I want to talk about my grandkids and I want to like
Yeah.
I I don't know how like the general public feels about this, but what I will say is that I am loving all of the conversations that include everyone's experience of shared like grief
Yeah.
about the loss of their spouses, partners, friends, like whatever.
Mm,
Like I'm really loving the conversations happening between older people talking about real life shit, more young, like the younger groups, like they're talking about real life stuff, like usually tragic stuff that happened to them really young because they are young people at the time that they get on the show. But all of it feels again a little bit like attention seeking, a little like, I need to put my saddest story at the forefront of this interaction. Whereas in
yeah.
this case, it's like I need to tell you about my loss when it's coming up or how it relates to this experience because this makes up so much of like who I am and why I'm here.
Exactly. Yeah. It has been interesting to see that shift. Um and I'm here for it. Like I think the whole old school damsel in distress line of thinking, like let me position myself as a damsel to be saved, I think also is a trope that a lot of women have fallen prey to in heterosexual normatives. And I'm glad to not see that going on so much here.
Yeah. Yes. Okay.
Okay.
Honorable openings. Sandra. You remember Sandra? She did the one that
Yeah,
she
shit and fuck. That's what I
Yeah.
have her as. She's our shit and
Yeah.
fuck girl.
She's
I
our
love
shit and
it.
fuck girl. I loved it too. Like I love that she faked me out with this like regulating exercise that was just her cursing.
Yeah.
At first I was like, this is incredible. Like they're about to regulate their nervous systems together.
My thing,
Fuck.
exactly. So I was like, I watched this with my partner and I was like, I really want to know what she's saying, but I bet you it's fuck or I don't give a fuck or something. Like it
Mhm,
was so
mhm.
funny. Like it was cute. It was really cute. And I love that he like joined in, and I also love that later when they connected on this, he was like, at first it caught me off guard, but then it was like funny, and like it's so true. Like it was cute. Like I think co-regulating as a couple is so freaking important. And if you can inject humor to like build that kind of rapport in that practice at first before we get to like more of the vulnerable deep stuff, I think that's a great step in the right direction. And she did it.
Mhm. Mhm.
Yeah.
What'd you think about the chicken lady, April?
Yo. Okay. Low key terrified. Can I be
Yeah.
honest? So
Yeah.
she's a therapist, but I'm like seeing so many red flags. I'm like
Yeah, that
anxious
scared
attachment,
me.
very much sexualizing herself. And I'm just like, April, you got like, come on, girl, hopefully Um, so yeah,
Yeah,
that's
her
what I
being a
thought.
therapist freaked me out.
Same, same.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, that she stood out to me, but not in a good way. Like a
Yeah.
little bit
Remember when
like,
she,
oh no.
remember when she did the chicken dance where she was like,
Yeah.
but it was like a
Yeah.
sexy chicken dance.
But is it, you know, are
Yeah.
chickens sexy though?
Someone would think
Hmm.
that that was sexy, but I just don't know if it was
Maybe
Gary.
chicken wings are sexy. Like,
Chicken
give me some
wings
of that
are sexy.
buffalo
Okay.
sauce right now.
What did you think of our girl, Leslie, the dancer, Prince's ex?
Oh, kind of similar line of thinking. Like, I think she's entertaining AF, but I think she's a wild card, you know?
Yeah.
Um,
There's
yeah,
something about her.
I feel like Leslie and April are going to stir the pot a lot this season. I feel like they're going to
Yeah.
be either they will be the villains or something's going to happen. Like, I feel like that's what we're starting to see
Oh my God,
trending here.
they're gonna make villains out of like these older women. And I hope if we're going to have villains, I hope that it's because they're like in true Karen fashion. You know what I mean? Not that I want to see Karen fashion, but I just want Karens to be revealed for Karens.
Right.
You know?
I don't know. We're going to have to see.
No one's named Karen. Not a single Karen.
Mm-mm.
I love the like
yes.
the old school names that we have.
Oh my God. Edith, Faith, Nancy,
Ellen.
Yeah.
Joan.
I think Joan's beautiful.
Joan is beautiful. Joan's a strong name.
Yeah.
Wait, which one's Joan?
So
which one's
Joan? She's
Joan?
the blonde, long blonde hair. She looks like a Barbie doll. She's the one that like looks most like a Barbie doll.
Is beautiful. They had a conversation in the second episode that
they did. Anniversary of her ex-husband's death was his birthday. And so she isolated herself in her room. And then of course they kiss after talking about her ex, wishing like her ex before he passed wished her that she would find someone else. And so they kissed. You know, I kind of, now that I'm reading this back, I kind of wonder if like the in-room isolation, if that was the tactic. You know what I'm saying?
To get his attention. Be like
privately.
Yeah.
Like, oh, where's Joan? Let me go find her. Oh, she's in here. And now it's a curated private moment. That's like damsel in distressy.
Could be.
Okay, wait, let's go back to Faith because she got the first impression rose on the first night, and I am not getting good vibes from her.
Okay, me neither.
I feel like she's calculated.
Okay, thank you, because I just truly have no idea why I don't have good feelings about her, but I don't.
There was something specific she said in the first episode that was like, bing, my red flag radar popped up.
But do you remember?
I don't remember specifically. I do remember looking at my boyfriend being like, yo, I officially don't like her anymore. Because at first I did. In her like intro, like, hey, I'm Faith and I live here. And she's like swimming in the pool, like living her best life. And at first I was like, ooh, I like this one. And then I watched her interact with Gary, and something she said almost immediately, I was like, that felt calculated. And so sorry, y'all, I don't have better notes or a quote or anything, but I'm watching this one because I feel like Faith is the one that's going to be like, the girls start to tell him about her. Whereas like with Leslie and the other one, April, I think they're going to be more like catty towards each other, instead of like conniving, manipulative, which is what I'm getting from Faith right now.
I'm gonna add,
and I'm ready to be totally off base.
I'm gonna add one person to that like pit of troublemakers. And I think it's gonna be Nancy, because Nancy's already had a lot to say.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Nancy's like she's fiery. She's also sort of like, I just need him to meet me and I need him to see me in my blue dress. And I'm like, okay, Nancy girl, like, what are you bringing to the table though? And then she's already kind of, is that Kathy? Who's Nancy?
Yeah. Nancy's the one at the group date wedding shoot who was like, I'm in a dress and like, this is triggering me because I haven't been in the dress since. Yeah.
Okay, I liked
Kathy's blue dress, who's like, is my blue dress good enough for you? I was rolling on the floor laughing at that. I was like, oh my God.
Yeah. Okay. I take back what I said about Nancy. I actually really like Nancy. Kathy is the one who's like saying some things. She's just like, she's got catty lady energy. In that she's like she's talking shit about other women in her confessionals.
Kathy is gonna be the Karen. I think
Kathy's going to be the Karen.
Totally. Ironically, the name starts with the same first two letters. Okay. Here's who I like. I do like Nancy because I think what we saw with Nancy and Gary after this wedding photo shoot group date was a great example of what we opened the show talking about. It's like, rip the Band-Aid off, be honest with people. Because they had this little faux wedding photo shoot, and Gary felt a disconnect. And what we see that Gary doesn't see is before Nancy goes to have her photo shoot with him, she's losing it because being in a wedding gown for the first time since her wedding day when she married her best friend, who since has passed, right? She's like, it's bringing up a lot of emotions. Totally understandable, right?
Mm-hmm.
She doesn't tell Gary that. She just goes to the photo shoot. They do their thing, but Gary circles back and uses the words, I felt like a disconnect. What's coming up for you? So he gets curious, which, by the way, applause for Gary for getting curious and communicating instead of making assumptions about what was happening. And Nancy meets him and is like, yeah, I'll tell you what was going on. Like I think she even said that. She was just very upfront with like, yeah, like this is what it brought up for me. Like I haven't been in a wedding gown since my wedding day to this guy that I was absolutely in love with. And, you know, he's passed. And so it's bringing up those memories that are flat, you know, and here's what it allows for them to do. He relates to her and is like, I totally understand because same vibes for me too. Like I haven't been in this position since I married Tony and it's all good. And they were able to share and share the fondness of their previous partners, which allows them to build emotional intimacy and like being comfortable, being vulnerable with each other. So I do like Nancy. The other person I like a lot because I think we're really we get to see the authentic side of her, and I think she's probably one of the most authentic people, is Sandra. Like she's like, I'm a football-aholic. Like, how are you? Like, which I think is huge because it's like, if you're a football-aholic, you probably want someone who's okay with you watching football all day Sunday. So it's like, that's a lifestyle thing that needs to be communicated. And I love that she's getting to it real quick. So those are kind of my two favorites right now. What about you?
I'm obsessed with Sandra. I want to know more about Edith because she's gorgeous and she has a beautiful head of hair. And I just want to know what her favorite book is and what she likes to do on Sundays.
Is she in knitting? What's the needlepoint?
Needlepoint? Yeah.
That's so rude. We're so fucking rude. Like saying like old people hobbies like for this, and it's like no.
Listen,
like
I'm like,
for all I know, she goes axe throwing. Okay,
yeah,
like,
she could. She absolutely could go axe throwing. I just like want to know more about her, and I feel like we're seeing her, but we're not learning about her. So
yeah, we haven't. Really.
I don't think that they have a one-on-one for a while. You know who they are? You know who he's about to have a one-on-one with is whoever's friends with the woman who has cancer that put her on the show. Her friend's name is Rosemary. No,
it's an R though. Rebecca.
No.
Wait.
Ruth? Is it Ruth?
No.
No.
Oh no. Fuck. Hold on.
It's Rose. It's Ruth. It's
okay, I'm gonna Google it. I'm Googling it.
And they did like a tribute because I think she's died since the time of the filming and the airing. Yeah, she died. What the fuck is her name?
They even did like a in memory. Roberta.
Yeah, Roberta. And she was like, "We made it, Roberta." I thought that was so cute, but I don't remember her friend's name.
Ellen is the one, and she's the pickleball coach. She's 71. She's also the one who he got the framed wedding photo for.
And she's that's another good example of someone who's like really active that needs to be disclosed early on to kind of assess their lifestyle differences. This is really important. They don't really talk about this, but I feel like they should. But like, I only know this from the experience of my aunt dating in her early 60s.
Tell me more.
Yeah, where it's just like, it's not enough to just meet someone nice. You gotta, if you're gonna engage, if you're gonna like date each other, maybe not even live with each other, but date each other and maybe eventually like maybe live with each other, whatever. you got to like the same stuff. Otherwise, like, what are you doing? You have to have similar lifestyles because it's not going to be like, it's not like if I meet someone now where it's like, I'd love to go-kart racing and I haven't yet, but I will, you know, like
Mm-hmm.
if your partner isn't already a road biker and you go road biking, like good luck getting that 70-year-old man on a road bike. It's not happening.
So like, okay, I hear you and I so agree that even more in, I don't want to say old age, but like, you know,
Yeah.
precious moments before life. I don't know.
The
You guys
golden
know what I'm
years.
trying to say. The
You're
golden
golden.
years. Yeah. I get that, like, needing that's even more front of mind, but even like I was literally having this same conversation with my client who's 35 the other day. Like, lifestyles need to align. They need to align. If you are someone who doesn't like going out and you're dating someone who goes out all the fucking time, that is going to put a pinch on your lifestyle, right? If you are someone who's like, I like to be home all of the time and like, you know, meditate all day. I'm using drastic examples right now to paint the picture, but you guys will get it, right? It's like the person who's like the social butterfly who like always needs to be around people to be recharged. Like, those are going to clash, right? Especially if we can't find mutual respect for like ourselves as individuals. Because I think what happens a lot is like, you know, in this drastic example, the person who goes out and is the social butterfly demands that the introverted one come all of the time, or vice versa. The introverted one demands that the extroverted one stay home to be with them all of the time. Like, that's not going to work, right? So you two either need to figure out what will work and come to a compromise that respects each other's individuality, or you need to go find partners whose lifestyles more mirror yours. And so like, this came up because she was talking about like someone she was dating previously who goes to the hookah bar all the time, and she's like, and I don't smoke, and like that's not something I really want to be around, but he was there almost every single night, and so they had to part ways because she was like, I just am not, that's not in alignment with me. And so it really is a thing. And yes, even more so, you know, as you get older, but like, y'all, like, pay attention to that, because I think far too often people date from a place of like, well, once we're together, they'll do this with me more, or they'll do it my way more. And it's like, but no, that's not what dating is. It's you accept the person for their lifestyle and who they are now. Yeah. So I just had to say that.
So we should talk about Teresa, because Teresa has a big moment. She has a couple big moments.
She gets the first one-on-one date where they go to a little diner. On the way there, he's driving like this old school car where the headlights are tripping, and the show, like, this is what I thought was so funny. The show was so hyper fixated on the drive there, like as if that was the date. Like, I was like, they're not even there yet. And I thought they were trying to make too much of it. And then we get to the diner. They get a milkshake and fries. A flash mob ensues. We hear about her husband who's passed, and then it's like, done. Like, it felt so like not a date. Like, I usually feel one-on-ones, we like go on an adventure and then have a dinner date and like all this stuff. And it's just, I felt like I didn't get to know either of them.
I agree. We really didn't get to know them. I do feel like they just took me into the Broadway musical rendition of ABC's The Bachelor.
Okay.
No, but yes.
I was like, this isn't Riverdale, y'all.
I know. I agree. Yeah. Yeah, it was kind of weird. I was sort of like, wait, I know that these shows, hear me out. I know that these shows are like kind of fake. That's like our whole shtick, right? But
yeah,
I've never felt so taken for a fool than I did in this one-on-one date, because I was just like, do you really think that I am bought into the fact that you set all of this up and made an absolute musical number out of this date? Like, what do you guys think that I am? What do you think that this is? Do you think that this is like their way to try to overcompensate to create a lot of entertainment where they feel entertainment will not be provided by the folks?
I think this was really, because the way that I interpreted this was like, so clearly they paid all of these dancers slash extras to
Of
like be in this
course.
diner after
Even
buying
the
out the diner for the night.
yeah, even the fake chef in the back, he
Yeah,
starts
that
singing.
can only make fries and a milkshake. Uh, anyway, what I think it was is like, you know how at the end of one-on-ones, there's usually like, and then we go into this other room after you accept the rose and we see fireworks or a random
A
musician
band.
playing us a
Yeah.
song. I feel like it was that equivalent because they're in, I'm assuming, downtown LA at Cadillac Joe's Diner. And so they couldn't like get the city of LA to approve fireworks that close. I don't know, but like that's kind of where my line of thinking was for all of that is like they needed some kind of big like to do at the end, and this is what they could make work for that space and the time and the area. That's
Okay.
how I interpreted it.
Yeah, pretty interesting. I'm jumping around because honestly, not a single
No,
note
that's
was
fine.
taken.
That's fine.
The first night, the first cocktail event,
Yeah.
the dance party that ensued. Do you remember? Tell me you
Apparently
remember.
not.
Okay.
Apparently not at
The
all.
very first night,
There
all
was
of
a
the
dance
bitches,
party.
all of my golden bitches get out of the limo. Everyone's already in the house, and it like it starts with him hanging out with Leslie, and they're dancing, and then like everyone joins, and they have a literal dance party, like a genuine dance party, not diner dance party, not a flash mob dance party, an actual dance party. And these people actually look like they're having a great time. And I was like, where is this on every other season of The Bachelor? Where
I
is this?
literally I don't remember. I do not recollect at all. Nope.
Well, I'm sad you missed it because it was honestly fucking
Sorry.
lit. It was
That
lit.
sounds great. I'm happy
Yeah.
for them. Yeah.
Yeah. I need more of that. I have this show is like I love Gary. Let me say this. I love Gary. I love the opportunity to see older people date. I love the opportunity to see older people be hot. I love that for all of us. There are elements of
Yes.
this show that I love because of the opportunities that it is kind of creating, that it could create. And then the rest of it I kind of hate.
Yep.
I just kind of hate
Same.
it.
I just think that the more that we unpack these shows, like, and hopefully this changes as we grow and evolve just as a human species, but I really feel that it just takes the traditional shit that we see that we so desperately want to get away from, like women being sexualized, and it almost reinforces it, right? Women chasing after men, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it's just like I'm just like kind of over it all. And like I get it. I get why the show is set up this way and it's its whole brand, and like they can't like the whole will you accept this rose is the Bachelor brand. But I just, the more that we do this, the more I'm like, are we helping or hurting?
We're definitely not helping.
Yeah.
We're definitely not
using this
helping.
podcast to try and help.
Yeah, and I think sometimes we can kind of like get a message out from it, but it's in spite of the show usually, isn't it?
Yeah, no, it's not like good job, y'all. I mean, rarely.
Yeah,
But
it's tough. It's tough.
it
Like they're
is.
like okay, so of these contestants, like some of them are entertaining, some of them are funny, some of them are like sweet or whatever. But even Gary in the mix of all of them, it's like are they calculated and fake or are they just corny and old?
¿Por qué no las dos?
I love when you drop that.
Thank you. Anyway, is that it? Or what are we ditching? We're gonna wrap it up. There's not much to say. Also, you guys, this Bachelor, like, they're flying through people. We have less ladies. And so, like, be prepared for this season to be over in about 4 weeks. Because
Yeah,
they're
it's
just
gonna be
like,
over
pop,
really
pop,
soon.
pop.
Do you have any like early indicators of who you think could win?
I don't have a motherfucking clue. I really don't.
I think he could pick Leslie.
I think he likes Leslie's spunk, but I don't know. She feels like she could be really combative. And so we'll see. We're just going to have to see.
Yeah.
You know? But they did get to connect over the hearing aid thing. Which, by the way, I love that she kept that a secret and like had her whole thing and then was like, by the way. I thought that was sexy how she did that.
I agree. Yeah. She made a hearing aid reveal really sexy.
She really did. And they had a little moment over it. So I definitely, like, Leslie knows what she's doing. I wonder about longevity. Like, you know, like, is she stable, conscious, self-aware, like willing to take responsibility, or is she going to be more combative, blamey? I don't know. We're going to find out. We're going to find out.
I am on the edge of my seat until we do.
Are you? Are you really though? Don't lie to us.
No, I'm actually I'm on like the edge of the back of my seat. I've never been further back in my seat.
I am
my entire
like completely relusted. Yo, you guys, I swear this coffee's gonna hit any minute now. That was, what was that a combination of? Rest and what's relusted? Relax.
Okay.
I'm gonna go take a nap and watch Harry Potter, you guys.
We have to finish this episode.
Ditch this. What are we ditching? Okay.
We are ditching. We're ditching.
I'm gonna ditch. I'm gonna ditch. It's hard because we really didn't see like too many red flags. They were like pink flags.
Yeah.
We're gonna ditch feeling the need to sexualize ourselves to get our man's attention. We don't need to show our bras and undies. We don't need to show our nude Spanx in order to stand out. We don't. We need to show our authentic, quirky selves like Natasha did.
Yeah. I like say something and then laugh, and then I'll say something and then I'll laugh. I thought that was hysterical. What a good way to get laughter out of someone.
For real.
I'm ditching bringing anything that has to do with eggs to a date. And chickens.
Oh, yeah.
Eggs and chickens.
Yo, I'm not here right now. Like, I'm not quick on the uptake today.
I know, that's okay. I'm honestly pretty slow on the downtake.
I'm glad we're here together.
Yeah, we are. I just don't know what to ditch other than like, I have no idea. Yeah. I'm drawing an absolute blank.
It's hard because they didn't give us much to work with.
Yeah, we got nothing. There was like one little thing that bothered me that some of the women do. Mostly Joan did this, but it's like you give a quick peck on the lips before you've like actually established intimacy and a makeout. I think this is like an older generation thing where it's like not a big deal to be like,
ew. You have to know me.
Yeah. Like don't casually kiss me on the lips. Like there were a couple of ladies that were doing that. I was like, oh, don't do that. We're ditching that.
Yeah.
Okay, we gotta wrap this up. We just gotta abort it. We're gonna ditch this episode, you know?
We're ditching. We're getting out of here.
Okay,
hurry up.
If you want to go to our socials. Yeah, yep.
Because we know you do, especially after this off the record.
Yeah.
Whack
off the
episode.
Off the rails.
There we go. Thank you. Off the rails.
Okay.
It's very much on the record.
If you want to be off the rails with us, go to our social medias, Instagram and TikTok at Ditch the Script Pod. Go to our website to ask a question. ditchthescriptpod.com. Thank you. I almost forgot. Subscribe to our YouTube channel where you can watch us be off the rails. You can also go to iTunes. Nope.
I mean, you can.
You can go to Apple Podcasts and rate us and leave a review about how cool it is that we're so off the rails. And then you
For
can
real.
also go to Spotify. And I don't really know how you can write a review, but you can rate us. And we would really appreciate it if you did so on the higher end of that spectrum.
Yeah. I love you, Brie. You're the best.
I love you too.
You always make me laugh, even when I'm this tired.
I know.
I'm gonna go take a nap.
Have we progressively gotten more tired? Just like since the inception
of
I too feel like it's so exhausted, and we haven't even been here that long.
No, tiredly delirious, but you know, we love you guys. Thanks for hanging with us. For those of you who do leave reviews, we see you. We love it. Thank you so much for being in our world, especially for the last 2 years. If you're an OG listener and you're still listening now, like, please message us or email us, because like I want to say hi to you. I want to be like, thank you for being on this journey with us. I want to hear from you. We both do. And we're sending you lots of love. So, all right.
Oh my God, you know what would be cool? If you're an OG listener, could you send us a little note and like tell us how you've grown?
Oh my God, yeah. What have been your biggest takeaways from our shows over the years? I'm so curious. What's been most valuable for you?
Yeah.
All right. Sending you love and light. Y'all, take breaks. Take care of yourself. If you have 20% energy like we do today, that's okay. You can still do the things in the way that you are available to do the things. Okay? Don't be perfect.
We're going to go do things.
We are.
Okay.
All right.
Love you.
Bye.
Bye.